Welcome back. My name is Grace. Since Halloween is almost here, today I thought we would finally get into making a costume. We're gonna do it a little bit differently than people normally do because instead of making something from scratch, we're upcycling an unused bridesmaid dress that my friend was going to wear in a wedding this year that got canceled. We both looked at the dress and we thought it was pretty Greek looking, so we thought it would be perfect to do our own kind of version of the goddess Persephone from Greek mythology. If you don't know anything about Persephone, she was the daughter of Demeter, who was the Greek goddess of fertility and the harvest. And she was this gorgeous, beautiful young girl. Her mother kept her away from all the boys, didn't want her to get married off. And Hades decided one day that he wanted to marry her. So he asked Demeter if he could have her hand in marriage, and Demeter said no. So Hades was like, I want to have her anyway. So he hatched this plan to kidnap her. One day when Persephone was out in the field collecting flowers, Hades opened up a hole in the ground next to her, burst out of the ground, riding his chariot, and snatched her, and then disappeared. Demeter was so upset that she stopped doing her duties and the earth basically started dying. So Zeus eventually took notice of this because obviously everyone was having a really hard time and ordered Hades that if Persephone wanted to return to the surface, he needed to return her. Hades didn't want to lose his bride, so he convinced Persephone to eat some pomegranate seeds, which were the food of the underworld that gave people a reason to stay down there, essentially helping people to accept that they were dead. So Persephone ate those, and when Zeus asked her where she wanted to stay, she said she wanted to stay with her husband Hades down in the underworld. Well, Demeter was really upset about this, obviously. So eventually they came to a compromise and decided that Persephone would stay 6 months down underground with Hades and 6 months up on the surface with Demeter. And that is how we get our seasons. So the 6 months that she is gone are the fall and the winter, where things are dying, the earth is a little darker, it's rainy and cold, a bit miserable. And then when Persephone comes back up and joins her mother on the surface, she's happy again and everything blooms back into life. And that's where we get spring and summer. It is a week before Halloween. I have spent all day today procrastinating. I managed to make the laurel wreath thing at least, so that's good. But now I can't avoid it anymore and I actually have to make this dress because deadlines, yay! I started out by doing a bunch of research online into the way that ancient Greek women dressed and presented themselves. The common theme I saw was a lot of long, flowing, very drapey fabric. So I wanted to keep in that same theme. I did luck out and find some styles that were one-shoulder gowns, so that gave me the idea to do an asymmetrical shoulder wrap. I bought some embroidered tulle mesh that was kind of a gray-pink color to symbolize her position between both worlds, the underworld and the living natural world. There was a beautiful scalloped edge along the tulle, so I draped that diagonally along the neckline to preserve it. Then, because the tulle was so transparent, I marked my cut line with pins instead of a marker. Tulle is really awesome because it doesn't fray, so I didn't bother to hem this part. Off camera, I went ahead and whip-stitched the tulle wrap to the lining of the dress. Then I spent many hours cutting out flower arrangements from the tulle to use as vines and decorations coming up from the hem. I decided to glue these flower bits to the dress instead of trying to hand stitch them down since it would have taken me approximately forever. It worked pretty well. I just made sure to put an old cutting mat between the top layer and the rest of the layers of the dress to prevent the glue from seeping through. She's done. I think she turned out so amazing, so much better than I was expecting. I was really terrified of doing this dress because I didn't want to mess it up. But I'm really excited. I love how this turned out. I think it looks ethereal and very, very in the spirit of Persephone herself. I especially love the crown. The crown was my favorite part, and I wasn't expecting that because I didn't think it would turn out as good as it did, but I loved the addition of the laurel berries. I think that really made it look a little bit more realistic as you can be with dollar store flowers. So thank you to my friend Miranda for being such a good sport and doing everything I told her to when I bossed her around. I hope you liked this, and I hope this inspired you to maybe upcycle some of the old bridesmaid dresses or old fancy attire that you have in your closet that still has a lot of life left in it, but you know, maybe you didn't have somewhere to wear it to. Let me know if you end up doing something similar. I'd love to see it. As always, my name is Grace. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so that you never miss out on new content. I will see you next time, guys.
Now, eat it.